It's time for a little comedy, a little content, and a lot of conversation. It's the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube. And now here's your host, Geno Jones.
Hey, it's showtime. What's happening, everybody? Geno Jones, showtime. I'm coming to you live. Yes, Monday through Friday, 6:30 p.m. It's about 6:31 right now. All right, about 5:31 in Chicago, about 3:31, 3:32 live in Los Angeles and on the West Coast. Tell everybody to subscribe to the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel. Subscribe, share, screen grab, rip some of the video, all right? Or screen grab it, like this and every episode. Binge watch all my back episodes, and please leave your comments in the comment section here on the Geno Jones Show YouTube channel page. As a matter of fact, watching me live, please join the conversation. It's going to be going on shortly. Right now, if you're watching me live, if you got a question, you got a comment, you want to comment about something in my monologue tonight, please. I'd love to hear from you. Whatever you got to say, whatever your opinion is, even if it's whack, I'll let you know it's whack. I'll probably do it with a smile, unless you're on some real racist, MAGA, misogynistic, sexist, bigoted hatred kind of ish. Then I might not do it, but I still might do it with a smile. But I'll let you know it's whack. Okay, everybody. Oh, we had a great weekend today. Today is December 9th. Happy belated birthday to my nephew, Kristen Jones. Brilliant young man. Will probably be the president of the United States one day. Brilliant. The big 2-5 turned 25 on Sunday. All right. The Geno Jones Show is brought to you by City Vibes Bar and Lounge. 9730 Dorchester Road is the ultimate adult spot for the grown folks. It is not the place for the kids. So if you looking to come to the club and twerk, this is not the twerking club. This is for the real grown-ass women and grown-ass men, the grown and sexy. So 9730 Dorchester Road. You can follow City Vibes on Instagram and Facebook. And big shout out to Kenya and Corey Williams. As a matter of fact, Kenya will be on every week. I do my Black Business Spotlight a business owner, and Kenya Williams, she'll be back on talking about a big event they're going to have to honor all the first responders here in the Low Country, as we call it, the Charleston, South Carolina Metro, and the Crate Group. Yes, the Crate Group presents the Low Country Meets the Oscars in 6 days. This coming Sunday, big Oscars gala is going to be, you don't want to miss it. Now, to get your tickets or your tables, all right, tickets are running out, they're going, and the tables are going. You don't want to be left out. We are going to recognize the unsung heroes right here in our area. It's a wonderful event. We had a red carpet pre-gala. I hosted the red carpet gala and co-hosted the award show, so I'll be back again this year. So we love to see you. And the Crate Group is a nonprofit that has been doing God's work and great work in the community here in the Charleston, South Carolina, not just here in the Charleston, South Carolina Metro, but really all throughout South Carolina and the Carolinas, and here in the Southeast for like 3 decades. So get your tickets, get your tables right now. Call 843-900-7904. 843-900-7904 as I step away from the camera just to make sure that we have to rebuke the enemy there, because you know Satan is super busy, so sometimes we just have to step away just to check a few things so we're back on camera. So shout out to the Crate Group. Get your tickets, the big black tie gala. It's the Low Country meets the Oscars next Sunday, or this coming Sunday. All right, let's get it jumped off. So have you heard? So apparently there was a civil lawsuit that was filed against Jay-Z. The information, the news broke over the weekend, really like Sunday. So Jay-Z is being accused, along with Diddy, Sean P. Diddy Combs, being accused of sexually assaulting, actually raping, according to the lawsuit, a 13-year-old girl at a house party. after the MTV Video Music Awards in New York City in the year 2000. Now, in the lawsuit, the accuser says that after she took a drink, or one drink, after she took one drink, and she drank from that drink, she got a little woozy and felt lightheaded, and she said so she had to find like a room to lie down. So she she found a room, she lied down, and then the accuser says that when she was in the room, allegedly Jay-Z and Diddy came into the room. Then Jay-Z held her, according to it's a Jane Doe. We don't know her name. Her name was not mentioned in the civil suit. The accuser said that Jay-Z came in the room, held her down, and raped her while Sean P. Diddy Combs and, now this is even more interesting, an unnamed female celebrity watched Jay-Z allegedly rape the woman. Then the woman said that Diddy raped her, allegedly raped her, while Jay-Z and that same unnamed female celebrity watched Diddy rape the allegedly, at the time, back in the year 2000, 13-year-old woman. Now, man, Jay-Z didn't take this lightly. Jay-Z released a couple statements, one saying that he is denying all the allegations and said that the woman's attorney is trying to blackmail him. And then Diddy went even further and said that basically that he doesn't come from the same area. He's not from where the accuser's attorney is from, and said, listen, we take these allegations very serious. We protect children. And he recommended to the attorney, if this really happened, then you should call the police and file a criminal complaint. Now, I don't know what the statute of limitation is in New York City, so we're talking about the year 2000, so that was 24 years ago. But Jay-Z said, don't just file a civil lawsuit. If this happened, you and your client should file a police report, should call the police, and file criminal charges. Because anyone that would do this to a child should go to jail. I'm paraphrasing that last part, but that was the gist of the conversation. So Jay-Z is strongly denying. Now there's a whole lot of speculation, because there have been whispers and not so silent whispers, or not even whispers, but just, conversation, talk, in just in the culture, in the community, and on social media for a while, especially when Diddy got arrested and got charged with everything he's been charged for, because Diddy and Jay-Z have been known to be very close. As a matter of fact, they worked close professionally for a while, both from New York City. Some people try to make a connection to, there was a time when Jay-Z and R. Kelly went on tour for about a hot minute, and then that went sideways, and they wound up, folks was about to fight and try to hurt each other. So people are saying, well, you got R. Kelly, you got Diddy, is it hard to, is it hard to imagine that these allegations against Jay-Z might be true? Listen, I don't know, but I do know one thing, that Jay-Z's denial and challenging the accuser's attorney to file criminal charges against him, Jay-Z. He said, if this happened, don't just file a civil lawsuit. Go to the police, file criminal charges against me, and let's go to court, have discovery, and put it in front of a grand jury, and let a jury of their peers decide Jay-Z's guilt or innocence. Like I said, I don't know what the statute of limitations is in New York City or the state of New York. I don't. So we'll see. I got to be honest, guys, because I know people are watching. Geno, it's, like I said, there's some people. There have been whispers about Jay-Z, not even whispers, that Jay-Z has got some skeletons and it's done some dirt. Some people try to even implicate not just J, but B. So there's always, listen, there's always going to be talk. There's always going to be rumors, and there's going to be whispers, and not even whispers, but just chatter and talk. So you really don't know what to believe. But some people say that this could be true, and it could be true. I am not denying the accuser. She could be telling the truth. Jay-Z could be telling the truth. But I would say if I was the accuser's attorney, if this happened, I would call Jay-Z's bluff, and I would seek to file criminal charges against Jay-Z if you have the evidence that can be proven in a court of law. In a criminal case, which is different than a civil trial. I'm not an attorney. My legal expert, Sean Mitchell, he'll be back on the show probably in about a week or so. He's been busy, just got a lot going on. He's also a professor, and we got finals going on. Just like with Ms. Keela Carson, my #1 guest co-host, she is studying for her doctorate. She'll be Dr. Keela Carson pretty soon. And she is also she is a professor at a local college there in suburban Detroit, Michigan. So finals time, right about now, you got finals happening. So it's a busy time of year. So that's been the talk of the internet. Now, about a year ago, there was a black man who was homeless named Jordan Neely, who was riding a subway train, and allegedly he was just being loud, demonstrative, and supposedly some people on this subway train felt a little nervous, a little scared. So there was a now Daniel, I gotta put this in full context. Jordan Neely, a young black man, I think he was 25. Documentary, he had a history of mental illness. So apparently was making loud noises on a subway train in New York City about a year ago. Black guy. It was a white dude, retired Marine, named Daniel Perry, who basically took it upon himself to quiet took it upon himself to engage in a vigilante activity and subdue Jordan Neely. So he walked up behind him and he subdued him by putting him in a chokehold, him being Jordan Neely. Well, Jordan Neely died, and Daniel Perry was charged with manslaughter and criminally negligent homicide. So I guess about a week or so ago, the jury in this trial said they were deadlocked. So the prosecution, which is kind of weird, basically said that we'll drop that charge. But they went on and allowed the criminal negligent homicide charges to be basically deliberated by a jury. And today a jury found Daniel Perry not guilty. You see the term in the news, acquitted, means that he was not found guilty of killing Jordan Neely. Now this is what I really, 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 really want to talk about. Because we're living in some really, really just it's not strange. Because, like I said, hate, tribalism, white nationalism, bigotry, class, I don't want to say warfare, but classism, that's gone on in America since America's origin, 405 years ago. So it's not 406 years ago, forgive me. So it's not unusual, but we are living in, especially with the election of Orange Hitler, white nationalists really feel emboldened that they can just be as hateful and engage. Now, this happened, now remember, this happened a year ago. So Orange Hitler was not in office. But the reaction by so many white nationalists and your Klan members and neo-Nazi members and just those, white racists, and some who engage in anti-blackness and racism who are not black. Who are not white, but sometimes people of color. But specifically, the glee from the white nationalist community on social media has just been has been what I expected. Let me just be honest. I am not surprised. The celebration of Daniel Perry for killing a black man who was homeless and dealing with mental illness. The racist reaction by these white nationalists. I expected it. But America's in a really, really, really precarious, interesting spot right now. Because with the election, once again, as I said, of Orange Hitler, you got white nationalists really fully feeling bold and with their full chest to be as openly racist. And in some cases, prone to just feel free that they can be violent and that their boy will, give them a pardon. What you don't understand for those white racists who are watching, that if you get convicted on state charges, your boy can't pardon you for state crimes. So, not that I want to give you any legal advice, but you just might want to keep that in mind. And what you also need to know to the MAGA cult and those white nationalists and white racists, that what your ancestors, what your great-grandparents did 100 years ago, it will not go down the way it went down before. Black America, we are descendants of our ancestors, but we are not our ancestors. And what you really need to understand, this is for everybody, but for those, especially these white nationalists that are celebrating a man who choked an unarmed black man who walked up behind him, didn't face him, walked up behind him. A black man a young man was dealing with mental health issues, documented. And you put him in a chokehold, and after a while, people were telling you to stop, to release the chokehold, and you didn't. And you may feel emboldened, Daniel Perry, because the jury basically let you get away with killing a man, found you not guilty of criminally negligent homicide, and the prosecutor dropped the manslaughter charges because the jury told the judge they were deadlocked. They couldn't get a unanimous verdict on the manslaughter charge. But what I want to say is that for those who take glee, for those white nationalists and bigots and racists who take glee and think that they have a license and open season to engage in violence against black people or any other people of color or women or Jews or Afro-Latinos or Hispanics or Muslims or Hindus or Sikhs or Native Americans, you have to understand that your boy wants, your boy Orange Hitler, he wants the chaos. He wants the anarchy. He wants the chaos and the violence because he feels that will allow him to seize more power. But I will say to you again, like I have said before on this show, they may come for, because now all this talk about mass deportation. So you're going to deport all of these immigrants who are here illegally. But there's a whole lot of talk about immigrants coming across the southern border. But the majority of those who are here illegally quote unquote, who have overstayed some type of visa are not coming across the southern border. These are people who've actually flown into America from Europe and that part of the world. But that's a conversation that you don't want to talk about because you feel it's okay to have more white immigrants, but we don't need any more of these dark people from Mexico, Colombia, or the Caribbean, or Brazil, Haitians, Africans. But there's a saying, there's a legendary poem. They came for one group, and I didn't say anything. Then they came for another group. I'm paraphrasing this. And I didn't say anything because I figured they're not coming for me. They're not coming for my people. Then they came for another group. But you said, they're not coming for us. But one day, the cult leader, even for the cult members, if you remember Jim Jones, Google, if you're too young, for you younger racists out there, I need you to Google Jim Jones in Guyana. Jim Jones in Guyana. He ordered nearly 1,000 of his own cult members to commit suicide by drinking Kool-Aid laced with deadly poison. And then I believe cowardly he killed himself. So if you think that you have a license to engage in violence against black people or other people of color, Hispanic people, Afro-Latino people, Native American, Asian American, Native American, Muslim American, Hindu Americans, Sikh Americans, or Christians that don't engage in this racist form of white Christian nationalism, the cult leader will come for the cult members. Just read Jim Jones in Guyana and how did Jonestown, it was the name of the community, Guyana. It's a small island not that far from South America. Google that story, the story of Jim Jones in Guyana. The People's Temple, I believe, was the name of the church. Once again, how people use religion to commit mass murder. So understand that you white nationalists that are so full of yourself because you feel you've got, the cult leader, he's a racist like me. He don't give a shit about you either. The one thing he cares about more, yes, he is absolutely a racist, a misogynist, a sexist, who has been credibly accused in a civil trial of rape, according to the judge who presided over that case in New York City, the E. Jean Carroll case. But once again, one day, the cult leader, when he can't come for anyone else, when there's no one else left, he will eventually come for the cult members. Jim Jones, the People's Temple, originated in San Francisco, California. He moved all these people, 1,000 people, to this remote island, Guyana. And one day ordered them all to commit suicide. Women, babies, children, everyone. Nearly 1,000 people. I just thought I need to share that with you. Now, before I get out of here, so I also saw today where my Congressman James Clyburn, he is in the United States House of Representatives. Full disclosure, I've had a chance to know Congressman Clyburn in March. I would have been here in Charleston, South Carolina, 20 years. And I've had the honor to meet Congressman Clyburn on multiple occasions. I'm a fan of his. I think he's done great work considering the limitations that he's had to deal with for so many administrations. But I know him personally, and I think he's an outstanding man. I think he's really a great man, and he's done some wonderful things for many people. there are many people that say, yes, he could have done more, could have done a lot more. So there's debate among people who know Congressman Clyburn and love him. Some feel that, yes, in the position he was in, he could have done more, he should have done more. People say the same thing about President Obama. They'll say the same thing about President Biden. They'll say that about every president. They could have done more, they should have done more, depending on who you talk to. But today, where I see where Congressman Clyburn apparently is recommending or says that maybe President Biden should pardon Donald Trump. Congressman Clyburn, I absolutely have the utmost respect and admiration for you as a man, as a person, and as my representative here in South Carolina in the U.S. House of Representatives. But I 1,000% disagree with you, in all due respect. I'd love to have you come on the show, and anyone else, especially any other Democrat that says that and believes that you should pardon a man who was found guilty. First, you got a grand jury that found enough evidence in New York City to recommend that the case go to trial. Then you had a jury of his peers that found him guilty of 34 counts of like business fraud in New York City. And once again, in a civil trial, was found liable because there's no guilty verdict. Either you were liable or not liable in a civil trial. Liable of sexual assault of a woman, E. Jean Carroll. The judge said the evidence showed him, once again, that Donald Trump raped E. Jean Carroll, that was her allegation, and the judge agreed. And Orange Hitler still owes this woman close to $100 million. But you feel that he, who led an insurrection, who stoked fear and anger and hatred, January 6, 2021, who basically summoned a mob to storm the U.S. Capitol, mayhem, destruction. You had police officers that wound up dying from the trauma and the injuries, the mental injuries and the physical injuries. And you recommend that he, who was found guilty by a jury of his peers, be pardoned? Now, there are millions, probably at least, there are hundreds. Let me be a little more accurate. There are hundreds, there are tens of thousands, maybe even hundreds of thousands. I know tens of thousands of Black Americans, men and women, in jail, tens of thousands who've been wrongly convicted or in jail for simple marijuana possession or low-level marijuana dealing. In some cases, serving a life sentence, 25, 30 years in jail, non-violent offenses. So if we're giving pardons to people with even though you could make an argument, a civil trial, sexual assault is a crime of violence, but that was not a criminal case. Once again, that was a civil case. But if you are recommending, Congressman Clyburn, that maybe President Biden should pardon Donald Trump, that would be the biggest mistake that President Biden, and it would look horrible for the Democratic Party. It would be a sign of weakness as far as I'm concerned, and it would show especially to our young millennials and Gen Z voters who are ready to fight for their freedom and fight for their reproductive rights. And they're not just gonna lay down and let Orange Hitler and these white nationalists just run over them. There are people already prepared to be in court every day to fight to protect the rights of all Americans, not to mention the billionaires that want to take away your grandparents or your parents' Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, their health care. They have the Affordable Care Act or Obamacare, who want to get rid of SNAP benefits to poor and working class people, who want to get rid of Head Start, so some billionaires can get another tax cut? No, no, we're not laying down for that. And no, Congressman Clyburn, and I still have the utmost respect for you, and I get it. Well, maybe we should, I've heard the argument. Well, help heal the country. You got to understand, this cult, they don't want to heal the country. And the only people that can heal the country are those that believe in decency and democracy and who will not allow this country to be completely destroyed by a dictator. But he's in place, and he's going to do everything he can. And those around him, but there are millions of people that are going to do everything they can to stop this from happening, including many of your governors and attorney generals in your Democratic states. From Illinois, Governor J.B. Pritzker, Governor Gavin Newsom; in California, Governor Wes Moore; in Maryland, Governor Healy, she's in Massachusetts; Governor Gretchen Whitmer in Michigan; Governor Shapiro in Pennsylvania, even though Kamala Harris lost Pennsylvania and Michigan and Wisconsin, which was due primarily the engine, the jet fuel behind Vice President Kamala Harris losing to Orange Hitler was hatred, was the tribalism, the racism, the white nationalism, and the misogyny and sexism. That was the jet fuel. The price of eggs and inflation, which had dropped dramatically in the last year and a half, but the media kept feeding that narrative. Well, the price of eggs, she didn't lose because of the price of eggs. That's bullshit. That's the media talking points. The engine, the jet fuel. And all you have to do, the bigotry, the fear, the misogyny, the sexism, the transphobia. Oh, she's for them, they. He's for you, me, and you. Trans people make up less than 1% of the population. And you worried about a trans woman beating out your daughter on a volleyball or basketball or softball team? You got a better chance of hitting this big lottery. I don't know if it's the Mega Millions or Powerball. You got a better chance of hitting that Powerball or Mega Millions number tonight or tomorrow than your daughter or granddaughter or niece has a chance of somehow not making a sports team because of a trans woman. That was all bullshit. That was all part of the engine, the jet fuel of fear, of hatred, of bigotry in all of its forms, from transphobia, homophobia, transphobia, to the racism and white nationalism and misogyny and sexism. That was the jet fuel. That was the fuel in the engine that drove people to vote for this dude. And now that is a fact. All right, listen, thank you for letting me be a part of your life. As always, God bless each and every one of you. You, and especially you, God, most of all. Thank you for letting me do the Geno Jones Show. The Geno Jones Show brought to you by the Crate Group. The Crate Group presents The Low Country Meets the Oscars this coming Sunday. Get your tickets now. It is a huge black tie gala. It's not just raising money, but we're going to recognize the unsung heroes that have been doing great work in this community for years, for decades, that never get any attention from the media, never get any spotlight shined on them. We're going to shine a spotlight on them, and we're going to celebrate them and celebrate what they have been doing and continue to do. So we're going to celebrate those unsung heroes at this gala. Get your tickets, get your tables now. 843-900-7904. Call as soon as the show is over. 843. You can call while you're watching me right now. 843 area code 900-7904. Shout out to the CEO of the Crate Group, Mr. Kendrick Bannister. Give him a call. Get your tickets, get your tables, and tell him Geno told you to call and get those tickets and tables. Also, the Geno Jones Show brought to you by City Vibes Bar and Lounge, 9730 Dorchester Road. You can find them and follow them on Instagram and Facebook. The #1 adult spot here in the Low Country, here in the Carolinas. Shout out to Kenya and Corey Williams, the owners of City Vibes. Huge supporters of the Geno Jones Show. It's a great spot. As a matter of fact, Kenya Williams is going to come on, co-owner, on Tuesday. Tomorrow, there's going to be a huge event they're having for the holidays to recognize and celebrate our first responders right here in our area. All right, thank you for watching live, everybody. Once again, subscribe, share, screen grab, rip some of the video. All right, make it go viral. Like this and every episode. Binge watch all my back episodes. And please leave your comments in the comment section right here. And when you're watching me live, please give me your comments in the chat room right there. So you can talk to me when I'm live on camera. You got a question or a comment, you want to have a conversation, you want to have a debate or argument, we can do that too right there in my chat room. Shout out to Mr. Markel Bailey, the official barber and hairstylist for the Geno Jones Show, the CEO of Designer Cuts here in the Charleston, South Carolina metro. Check him out on Instagram, Kel B Cutting Up, KELBECUTTINUP. Allie Jones is the drip director, the official wardrobe consultant and stylist for the Geno Jones Show. Check her and her Lexi Jones collection, fashion designer, future superstar fashion designer. You can check her out on Instagram, lx.n, like Nanette, C like Charlie, L like Lexi _ LX.NCL_. And shout out to Bruce Gage, also wardrobe consultant for the Geno Jones Show. Check him out on Instagram. Check out his Mario Uomo collection. Mario Uomo is M-A-R-I-O. Now, Uomo is an Italian surname, U-O-M-O. M-A-R-I-O-U-O-M-O, the Mario Uomo collection, the Flyball collection. Also, by the way, on my way out the door, I didn't mention it earlier because it's not a news show. It's a variety show. But the man who was accused of murdering, assassination style, the former CEO of United Healthcare, this man was found. Luigi, I believe, was it Macchione? I'm mispronouncing his last name. Because they were saying that he was like, oh, he's a light-skinned man. Like, he was a light-skinned black man. No, he was a white man. And by his surname, apparently he was Italian. I don't know if he's an Italian-American, but he does have an Italian surname. He was found eating at a McDonald's about 4 hours north of New York City in Altoona, Pennsylvania. And one of the McDonald's employees apparently called the police. They found the man, same clothes that he had on when he allegedly murdered or shot and killed the CEO of United Healthcare, had the same weapon, apparently, allegedly, according to police, that he used to kill the former CEO, and had like some kind of what they call a manifesto, which was some writings talking about why he did it, and they found shell casings in the area where the CEO was killed in New York City, in Manhattan, that had delay, deny, there were three things. I guess they're like three mottos when it comes to insurance. Deny, delay, and I'm forgetting the other one, but anyway, I digress. We'll talk more about that. All right, listen, everybody. Just wanted to let you know that on the way out the door. Thank you for watching. We'll see you live Tuesday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern.
Subscribe and tune in to the next episode of the Geno Jones Show, exclusively right here on YouTube.